We're on.
All right. I'm not quite there yet, but
Everybody else is ready.
good.
Stacy
Good.
says hello. Hi, Stacy. We've got Ed and Anita on here. Hello. And we have Todd. Hello. That's going to be real annoying.
I hope they stop. The neighbors upstairs are getting hammered, I think.
And it just started.
Last week it was a train. This week they moved in. They just moved in though, so they're probably they're probably hanging stuff and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's Friday night.
Meg says howdy. Gina says hola. And Meg says my hair. Or your hair. Is that my hair or his hair?
Maybe your hair, because your hair looks real brown in this.
It does. Here.
I don't think it's my hair because
people keep asking me what I've done with my hair and why it's so blonde. And my answer is I've done nothing with my hair. The color has faded out, and this is what's underneath.
I'm just pouring a little Friday night fun.
Friday night fun. Your ice is not melting.
It will be. Oh, it will be.
Okay.
I've got some.
Oh, my hair looks really dark. Yeah, those are the roots growing out. I need to do something with it. I still don't know what to do with it for the wedding. I've got so many options. And I just don't know what to do.
Look at this. This is like fancy mixing.
Oh, wow. It's like ice mixing.
Yum.
I didn't get a drink.
Do you want a drink?
Yeah.
What do you want?
I want the rest of my root beer that's sitting in there by the couch. Thanks. How's everyone doing out there? Matt asked me today what we were doing for the podcast, and I said, I don't know. Why don't we do a whole cruise creature episode? And he said, you going to talk about cruise creatures? And I said, no, but you can. So
that's not what we're doing, though. Don't worry. We're just going to do it. We're just doing a live stream because we have a lot going on in our life right now. So we weren't prepared. We had to take Reno to the vet. He's having some issues. And yeah, it's busy. It's busy.
Todd called you a nice guy.
Todd called me a nice guy? Of course he did. I am a nice guy. You saying I'm not a nice guy?
No, I was just letting you
know.
No,
I'm not a nice guy.
Matthew?
That was a total Kimber line. You know that, right?
Yes. I'm still cold. I might have to go get my jacket.
Okay.
Ed and Anita's drink for the night is the Bahama Mama.
Oh. Okay. All right. Everybody's giving love to Reno.
Oh, there's Dave and Brandy.
Hey, Dave and Brandy. You want to tell them?
What, that I'm slacking?
We haven't mailed your mug yet, but there is a reason. We're planning on adding something to the box, and we haven't quite got that done yet, but we will try to get it done so we can mail it out on Monday. I did put some other goodies in the box already, but
what is it? I'll just have to look myself.
What?
I don't know what else you put in there.
Well, I'm not going to say here.
I know, that's why I said I'll surprise. Just look myself. We've got James in here.
Hello, James.
Hi, James.
James sent me a thing about a gigantic great white shark spotted in Hawaii.
Oh.
Named Deep Blue. 20 foot long. That's pretty big for a great white.
Wow.
Not the biggest ever, but pretty big. Pretty big. Pretty big. So, yeah. So that's what we got going on. I'm at a loss of words.
I'm just kind of tired. I started getting a headache about 3 minutes before it was time for us to set up.
I think I didn't realize how late it was.
I know.
And you're like, it's 8:15. And I'm like, I thought it was 7:45. But, whatever. Time got away from me, as time does.
Kimbra, my Bamboo Labs filament came.
Oh.
Still another week until my Carbon X1 comes in. Pictures will be sent when it arrives. Does it have to use certain filament, or you just bought new filament because you could? But when we move, that will eventually be my next purchase because there's going to be a lot involved in moving probably.
Yes. Yeah, we have to move. Well, we don't have to move, but we want to move. So that's the other thing that's like, we have the wedding. The dog is, complicating our lives. And then our lease is up in June and we want to move and hopefully to some place where we don't have to move for a while.
Yeah.
Whether that be renting or maybe buying something. So
hopefully room for like all of the extras that we have shoved into this one room.
Maybe. Can you guys hear the
I was going to ask the same question.
I don't know if it picks up on the microphone or not. It might not. It might be just us.
Bamboo filament has an NFC tag and the Carbon will automatically set up the print profile.
Oh, fancy.
Okay, so you can't just use any filament. Interesting.
It sounds quite proprietary.
Hopefully the filament, like what if you have a favorite filament that you want to use? Can you just not use that filament?
Then you use one of your other printers. Oh, look at that. We got the Professor Travel and try and operate these little comments here. Bon Beanie. I don't think I've said that tonight. Bon Beanie to everybody. Bon Beanie to the Professor Travel. Not hearing any hammering. Good. So you don't have to.
Oh, you don't have to hear filament, but you need to manually configure. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I need to know all about this printer and if it's worth me getting it when I'm allowed to get it.
So I had an idea about what I wanted to do the podcast about, but we didn't have time to research the topic.
You didn't even tell me about it.
I know, because I thought of it. I think this morning I woke up before the alarm went off and I thought of it. And then I thought, we don't have time to research that. So I just kind of let it go. But maybe we can do it as a Q&A, not like as a podcast official, but because here's what I was trying to figure out. I wanted to think about things, carnival specific. Okay. But don't worry if you're not a carnival person, because what I wanted to figure out was like, maybe like the things that Carnival does better than all or most of the other cruise lines, and the thing that Carnival does worse than all or most of the other cruise lines. Because I feel like there's some substance there. There are things that Carnival does really well that I think most people, even people that aren't Carnival people, it just occurred to me that like Carnival fans could be called carnies, but that's different. There must be things that they do well that everyone would acknowledge. And there are some things that even carnies like us would probably acknowledge that Carnival doesn't do as well as other cruise lines. But I don't know what those things are. So Scott says, or Todd says, enough nerd talk. It's cruise talk time. I mean, those things are not mutually exclusive though, you see. But yes. So what do you guys think? What are some things that Carnival does better than other cruise lines or most other cruise lines? And what are some things that they do not as well? And make sure you're telling us which is which, because I'm assuming that when Todd says tacos.
Well, Meg said it first.
Oh, and that's what I thought. And then I looked down and I saw Todd. I'm assuming when you guys say tacos that you are talking about they do tacos better than the other cruise lines, which I can't really imagine that wouldn't be the case.
Well,
on the whole.
So here's, sorry, real quick, I want to say hi to Captain Billy.
Hey, Captain Billy.
And hi to Kevin Counts, and welcome.
Hello, Kevin Counts. We were counting on you showing. Oh, I'm
sorry. So tacos, are you saying tacos specifically or the Blue Iguana? because
Well,
like
it's Carnival does the blue guano.
right.
So
I know.
that sounds like
But
a porno.
but I'm thinking like MSC Seashore has that taco cantina restaurant area. That's like
Yes.
it's not free, but it's an all-you-can-eat price.
I don't know that
So that's why I'm
necessarily-
asking that question.
Yeah, but so here's what I would
So are
say
you saying
though.
tacos specifically?
Well,
or are
I'm
you
not.
saying blue
I
guano?
didn't say tacos.
I know. I'm
but
asking the people.
but I think that even though they have the tacos on MSC, they're not as and they're good. They're not as available and they're not free. And I think that is to be factored into
Yeah.
it. But it doesn't necessarily need to be the only criteria. And it doesn't have to be but tacos I think is a good example. Let's see, we got some other examples coming in. Dave says, love all the included food options on Carnival. I can
You're just
see that.
skipping people.
Did
Look
I-
at Stacy's two above that.
Oh no, sorry, Stacy. Stacy says does well. Included food options, fun atmosphere, friendly crew. Okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
all the included food options.
Does Carnival do more included food options than other cruise lines? I don't know.
I think it
This
depends on the ship
is
you're
a
on.
question that I have. I feel like that maybe they do, but
Well,
I don't know.
And Scott says Carnival does great when it comes to activities on the ship.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the in general, I would say the cruise director experience is a different animal typically on Carnival than on other cruise lines. However, my first cruises were on Royal Caribbean and the cruise director experience was very, very similar, but those were older Royal Caribbean ships. So I think but we've been on older ones where it wasn't the same. So I don't know. I think I'd say on the whole, I would definitely agree with that.
So Todd says, I will say that the cruise directors are amazing
Hmm.
compared to other cruise lines I've been on.
Now, you could be a person out there who doesn't really dig the cruise director thing. Like maybe you're like, I don't like they're annoying, they bother me, or I just don't care. And so in that case, that wouldn't necessarily be, this is what I'm talking about though. It wouldn't necessarily be a plus for you for Carnival, but you might still acknowledge that in general, they do better with cruise directors if you are a cruise director fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know of many cruise directors on other cruise lines that people know about, talk about.
Right.
But
because it's not
on
the same.
Carnival, there are several that people talk about quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Scott says Carnival has a great casino program, which I prefer to other cruise lines.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's something that we don't really have experience with. But that is good to know. Good to know.
Let's see. Brandy says, we have only sailed on Carnival, so we may be biased, but I will say the sail away parties seem more fun than other lines or blogs that they've seen.
It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I can't vouch for that, but that wouldn't surprise me if that was accurate. Just because I don't always go to the sailaways, but I've enjoyed them on other ships. But I think it's more it's part of that fun atmosphere. And I not that like some of the other cruise lines aren't fun, they certainly are, but they're going for a different vibe. So that may be a flavor thing, you know, people like that flavor and stuff like that. What's Kevin saying?
I'm gonna let you read the next couple.
Carnival. Okay. Carnival does a good job of sailing 3 times a week from right down the street from us. Next year, they're going to give us a Firenze at our home port. Is that how you say that? Firenze?
I don't know.
Firenze? So
sounds like a Harry Potter character.
So that's an interesting point. I would say that I think I could be wrong about this. Like I said, I didn't really do the research here, but I feel like Carnival might be, in the United States specifically, Carnival might be the most common cruise line. Like I can think of a few ports where you could only pretty much sail on Carnival. I mean, even in Tampa, you can sail Carnival all year round.
Right.
On 2 ships.
No.
No? Oh, on just
one ship all year round.
But 2 ships most of the year.
Yeah.
Now, Royal Caribbean, though, I think you can sail all year round too. Is that accurate, or is there times when Brilliance or Radiance or
I
whatever?
think there's like 2, maybe 3 months when Brilliance is not
Okay.
around.
And I know like Jacksonville is just one Carnival ship, I think. And I feel like there might be some other ports that are only Carnival. All right. Todd says, I had one. That was really loud. I don't know if you heard that, but it's like a motorcycle came out of my butt. It didn't. That was actually a motorcycle or some kind of car. I had one Royal Caribbean, one RCL, one Mark Walker. He is now known as Bing Bong because of his closing, but all other Royal Caribbean, I never heard from them much. It was amazing to see the cruise director at the disembark saying goodbye. So Bing Bong, Mark Walker, was my first cruise director on Royal Caribbean and my second cruise director. And he is still in my top 3 cruise directors of all time. So that's exactly the person I was talking about when I made that comment about Royal Caribbean. Mark Walker is amazing as a cruise director. I don't know. I know he had stopped being a cruise director for a while, but I feel like maybe he came back. And yes, the Bing Bong, like if you're a fan of like British comedy, Mark Walker was amazing. He was really, really good. And maybe still is. I don't know. Could not hear the butt cycle. That's good. That's probably good.
Scott says that Carnival seems to be better with pricing.
Okay. I would say
yes and no.
In the United States, I think on average, MSC probably beats them out. I don't know about value for what you get. That's pretty subjective, I think. But like night for night, I bet MSC beats them out. And some of the Royal Caribbeans and NCLs might give them a run for their money. But on average, I think that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of times when I've looked at cruises and been like, I don't care what cruise line I go on. And I end up going on Carnival because it's just cheaper.
I just realized you're wearing a blue shirt and I'm wearing a pink shirt.
It's because I'm a boy and you're a girl.
I know.
And we fall into gender, what do you call it? Roles. Yes. That's not really true. But anyway.
I just thought it was really funny. Let's see, having an ambassador like John Heald, having people be involved with the line and being interactive with consumers makes it more fun as well.
Yeah, I mean, what other cruise line has a John Heald?
Right.
I mean, like not even anyone similar. Like I can't think of another cruise line that has a face like that. And John Heald is probably a face to people in the cruising community. I don't know that he's a face to people that just cruise from time to time that aren't like into it, like people like us are. But that is a really cool thing, and it gives you like I feel like a tangible connection with Carnival. Anita and Ed, this is Anita. The sail away on Carnival are lots of fun and well attended, but our sail away on Sky Princess was pretty fun as well. Just not as many people join in as they do on Carnival, and that may be who is sailing on Princess and what they do or don't like to do. But that is an interesting commentary.
Also, Carnival is the best because you have the best chance of meeting Kimber and Matt.
That's funny because I was going to say what Dave and Brandy and Meg both said they've only sailed Carnival. And I was like, well, that's an advantage that Carnival has because those people are sailing only exclusively on that so far. So,
hi, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Let's see. There are no MSC on the West Coast here.
Oh.
We do have Carnival out of San Diego, Long Beach, Santa Barbara, Monterey, San Francisco, Seattle, and up into Canada and Alaska.
So lots of availability.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of Carnival love. Is that because this is our podcast and we are Carnival people, carnies? And so, but I know not all of our people here are necessarily Carnival people.
Well, so read the next one.
Yeah, okay. Kevin Counts. Carnival does a great job of annoying me by constantly blaring loud music. I like loud music as much as the next guy, but I like to be in control of it. So this is maybe something. So this would be kind of one of those subjective things, but this is something that definitely is valid. If you don't like that party atmosphere, you can avoid it, but you can't avoid it everywhere all the
Well,
time.
actually, a point to loud music. I also don't like loud music.
Mm.
And I've talked about many times how much I like the Rotterdam, the Holland
Mhm.
America Rotterdam.
Yeah.
Loved that cruise and that ship. But that area where they do the music every night, blaring, and you can't go anywhere near it. And that's a really big space.
Yeah.
And I hated that about it because
Okay.
I just had to avoid that area because it was just too loud. Like it was, you couldn't shop because the music was too loud and it was just down the hallway.
That was the Rotterdam, you
Yes.
said? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So some of these things will be depending on what people like and that sort of thing, obviously. What else we got? What's Captain saying here?
He's rubbing in my face the fact that I didn't get a ship on a stick and he did. So I'm not going to acknowledge it.
Okay. That wasn't acknowledged. She didn't just acknowledge that. Rewind and pretend she didn't acknowledge that. Dave and Brandy say the exclusivity will end the last week of May, though. We're selling the MSC Meraviglia on Memorial Day weekend. Well, I will be very curious to see your opinion of that ship. And I certainly think that maybe we should broaden this, because I thought we get more vinegar about Carnival, although I guess maybe
tell
not
us
with
everything
this
you hate about Carnival.
No, I don't mean, I don't want to be that person, but what I do want to know is what do the other cruise lines have that are an advantage over their fellow lines? So like, what does Royal do better? What does Princess do better? What does MSC do better? Like, what, those of you out there that have sailed these different lines and are like, wow,
there we go,
this is
Meg.
awesome.
Carnival does not serve Coke products.
That is very valid.
Big issue, Carnival.
Yeah, I agree.
You made bad choices.
I agree with that. It's the little things in life,
I think Royal's pizza is better.
You think Royal's pizza is better
than Carnival's?
You are probably not in the majority in that.
I know.
But, that doesn't mean you're wrong. It's just, that's what you like. It's what you like. What did that was our favorite port of Carnival. Part of Carnival. Oh, part of Carnival. I'm not sure. The loud music or the sail away? What were you referencing there? Let's see. Okay, let's see. One thing I hate about Carnival, they make us debark the ship. Well, I mean, that's not a Carnival specific thing though, so we can't really hold that against them, although I'd like to. Scott says Princess is the absolute best at customer service, hands down. Okay, so that is meaningful because you want to have good customer service. Now, I've never had bad customer service on a cruise, but I haven't had a lot of major issues that had to be resolved either. But having good customer service is definitely important in any business, especially apartments. But anyway, Princess has way better room service and movie options in the room if you like to stay in your room. So that's cool. I feel like Carnival used to do better with room service.
I was gonna say,
but
yeah, okay.
But yeah,
I was gonna say, speaking of movie options, I think Virgin Voyages had a pretty good selection of that kind of thing.
Okay,
we watched Mean Girls. Remember?
We did, yeah, I do remember.
But they had. I mean, they were older movies for the most part, but they had a lot to choose from. Yeah.
Oh, look at this. We're getting a little spit back here from Captain Billy. I love Diet Mountain Dew on Carnival. # great choice on Pepsi products. and Dave too. It looks like, Meg, we're not the only people, or we don't all love Coke.
So here's the thing.
That sounded bad.
I prefer Coke products,
Mm.
but most places that have Pepsi products
Peppy?
also have Dr. Pepper,
Mm,
and Carnival does not.
mm.
So they not only messed up the fact that I like Coke better, but then they didn't bring in Dr. Pepper.
Mm.
That would have
helped.
That would have helped.
Although I don't know that I'm mixing Dr. Pepper with my rum, but
No, but still.
Well, I mean, and I'm not a Mountain Dew fan. I know a lot of people are, but Mountain Dew's kind of an outlier too, I would say. Like, I know it's a Pepsi product, but like Coke doesn't have anything that
Like Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew's
thing. Like what is that? There's Squirt? No, that's not Mountain Dew. Like there's no substitute for Mountain Dew. So if you're a Mountain Dew fan, that's really it. It's only horse in the race.
I think I need to scroll up because I'm missing stuff.
Todd says MSC has the best coffee I have ever had on a ship, which makes sense, I think, since it's like an Italian line. I will say that the MSC ship we were on had the best buffet.
Yes.
Of any ship I've been on.
Like best pasta.
Nothing's even come close to that buffet, in my opinion, on cruise ships. Kevin says, I love people watching on the third day Carnival booze cruise. It never ceases to amaze me. Well, yes, there could be that. Ed and Anita, well, we got a fantastic cruising ship on a stick, and it's the one we wanted to win. There you go. Take that, Captain. He got one too, though, so I don't think he cares about that. He got that too. We could have traded. We could have bartered. We should have jinxed the game or something. No, just kidding. Scott says, I feel NCL has the best food on the 7 seas. I've only been on one NCL, so I don't know if I agree with that or not. But I will say that the one I was on, I didn't dislike the food. And there were things I do remember, like they had the Irish creme brulee, which was really good. But the Brazilian steakhouse was not very good. Their regular steakhouse was pretty good. Yeah, I think, and I like their little pub food that they had was very good. So
You're making me hungry.
Sorry.
I think that's why I have a headache. I don't think my 0 point noodles did it for me.
And Anita, I got one of those too. Hashtag shuffleboard champion. That's awesome. Bombini Cruise Nuts, welcome to the party. All right, let's see what else we got. Blah, blah, blah. People saying hello. Oh, Scott is also a Pepsi person. Hashtag fight time. Look, I don't know. Dogs and cats, Pepsi and Coke. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of funny though.
Oh, I haven't seen that dog wasn't in that episode that we watched today.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. No, it was not. Yes, if they had Dr. Pepper, all would be forgiven. Okay, so Meg's down with you on that.
I know. Me and Meg are like BFFs.
Oh, Ed and Anita are Coke people. Maybe we should do a poll on Fantastic Cruising Community.
Coke or Pepsi?
Hashtag Team Pepsi. Oh, Mellow Yellow. Yeah, that does that really? I mean,
but is that's not Coke, is it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's its own something else. Whoever does 7-Up.
Yeah, a Mellow Yellow is not.
I mean, it's similar.
Equivalent.
It's similar, but not the same.
What?
Okay.
What is happening?
We stomping?
Our neighbors are like trying to knock our pictures off the wall now. Yeah, good job. Well done. I am looking forward to the fresh mozzarella station on MSC. Yum. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm real hungry now, Matt. We're going to have to go get something to eat after this. I'm going to make some biscuits.
Todd says you can never go wrong with cheese. Cheese, it's good. I do like cheese a bit. Todd says, well, not a fan of processed cheese, but real cheese, yes. Now,
I feel like this live just got real cheesy.
I don't know, Todd. I'm a big fan of Velveeta.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big Velveeta guy.
Oh, Velveeta sounds so good.
Stacy says our one celebrity cruise had better MDR food than Carnival, but most of the buffet was bad. Well, I mean, Carnival's buffet I think has really gone downhill.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't not been on Celebrity, but I have heard that they have really good food. So that is interesting to know. I usually don't eat the buffet for dinner. I like to go to the MDR, so having good MDR food is important to me. Scott says Princess has the best overnight food. They have a cafe near customer service that offers great 24-hour selections you can pick up. Oh, that's cool. I've heard about that.
We need to get on a Princess cruise.
We need to get on a Princess cruise. What? Kimbra.
I'm wearing pink.
Meg says, pretty sure I would be kicked out of Atlanta for pronouncing myself a Pepsi. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's
yeah, because of the
Coke
Coke.
place.
Yeah.
Mellow Yellow is a Coke product. Stacy
Oh,
said it is a
okay.
Coke product. You just don't see it like in Coke restaurants. Do you?
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
like McDonald's is a Coke restaurant. Do they have Mellow Yellow?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, but they also
But
don't have Coke Zero, so
yeah,
I
I was
don't
gonna say,
know. They count.
they don't really have.
Do the Coke Freestyle Coke machines? Do they have Mellow Yellow? They might.
Probably,
They might
'cause they
have
have all kinds
Mellow
of
Yellow.
stuff.
Praise Jesus. Amen. Amenster. Liquid gold. Dave and Brandy, liquid gold. Yes. Ed and Anita, Scott, we agree 100%. The International Cafe is amazing. March of next year, join us on the Ruby Princess in March. Yeah, we have a lot going on next year. I don't even know what our cruising is going to look like past the wedding cruise.
We probably won't cruise until 2025.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Duh.
Can we just take a moment? Because I think the captain has really brought up a valid point.
Yeah.
I don't know if people who are just don't sell Carnival don't care about ships on a stick, but I know that people that do cherish them and love them. I don't know that there's any Carnival people who are like, ship on a stick. I could take it or leave it. Like, we want those stupid plastic trophies. It's the only trophy I've ever really coveted. So, I mean, and
you get stingy with them too. Like, you used to be able to get them all over the place.
They've had supply issues. I mean,
it's plastic.
But I mean, look. Okay, look. I've won things on Royal Caribbean and NCL, and I feel like I won stuff on Holland America, and I've literally gotten highlighters as a prize, keychains, decks of cards. But
I'm just really upset because there's two ships that I've been on for Carnival that I don't have ships on a stick for. One of them, I won multiple things, and they just kept giving me those stupid necklace, the medallion, whatever those are, and that was the Liberty. And then the Pride, I just feel like I should have gotten one. And maybe I would have tried a little harder at Harry Potter trivia.
Oh, is that what it was?
If I knew I would get one.
Is that what it was? Oceania has the best ice cream at sea. They have a collaboration with Humphrey Slocum. Google it. Only 34 days until my next Humphrey Slocum experience. Okay, well, I am an ice cream fan, so so you got me. You got my interest peaked there, my friend. Scott says, I am sad about Coke if I cannot get Pib.
Pib's good.
Did he say he was a Pepsi guy, though?
Yeah.
What am I missing here? He wants Pib instead of Pepper? Wait. Oh, because Pib is a Coke product. So he wants the Pib. I get it. Okay. Pib. I got you. I follow you. And hello, Mom. Bon Beanie, Mom. Ruby Princess is out of San Pedro. Todd says we had to drink RC and Shasta. My parents got the Coke. The good stuff. Look, I would walk past 3 Cokes to get an RC, like a Royal Crown. They don't have a Royal Crown Zero that I know of, but like if I didn't care about like my sugar intake, I'm a child of Royal Crown. And in St. Louis, we have a soda brand called Vess, which makes all kinds of flavored sodas, like grape and orange and all that stuff. Vess is like a thing. Like people from St. Louis like crave Vess cola. It's probably not really that good, but you know. Yeah, Meg likes RC too. Maybe it's more like Coke. I don't know. RC Cola and moon pies. Oh yeah, I guess there was some kind of tornado stuff going through the Midwest, and hope everybody is okay with that stuff. My mom is not a fan of tornadoes. Captain Billy bought some chips on a stick on eBay.
That just seems like a lot of work.
Medallion equals thingy on a stringy. Honestly, Stacy, I think that people would like the medallion more if it was personalized to the ship.
Right, and it's not.
I mean, it wouldn't be as cool, but it would be cooler.
I would
than the generic.
Kind of the thing is like I like knowing that I won this thing on this ship.
Right. It's like an achievement on Xbox or whatever.
Thingy on a stringy. That's good.
Hey, Kimbra, Scott says, how many chapters are in the Harry Potter? I'm not even going to read that.
It is either 98 or 99. Depends on who you ask and how you Google it.
Just don't ask Kimbra because she said 94.
I said 92.
92.
Although I almost said 98. So I'm really annoyed that I second guessed myself.
They don't make Pib anymore?
Really?
Yeah, they call it Pib Extra now, but they still
because it was Mr.
It,
Pibb and now it's Pib Extra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dave says, do you guys remember Cherokee Red? I think it was kind of a Northeast thing. I've never heard of Cherokee Red.
I don't know what that is.
So no, is that like a cream soda or is that like just the whole brand?
I feel like my jaw is like real fat today.
I don't know what our neighbors upstairs are doing, but it's like, it sounds right. Like an elephant doing like a parade in a carnival. I don't know what's happening. Carnival, not that kind of carnival. We need Jolt and Surge. Yes. I was never really a Surge guy. Not that maybe I would have been. I just never drank it. I don't know why, but Jolt, oh yeah. Did you ever drink Jolt?
I don't think so.
Is Jolt like exist anymore? Was it like banned because it was killing people? I don't know. But Jolt is like super high caffeinated
but Surge, I think
cola.
I think I had Surge. Oh yeah. I drank Surge a lot.
Yeah.
I had to see the logo.
My mom says we have the best people in this group.
I agree with that.
Okay. I mean, you're in this, Mom. We think you're pretty great. Ed and Anita. Oh yeah, they're going to know Vess because they're in the St. Louis area. Vess soda was what we had at every family gathering. All kind of fun flavors, right? Yes. Achievement unlocked. Paul says Pib and Pib Extra are not equals.
Oh.
Okay. You know, it's been a long time since I've had just a regular Mr. Pibb, so I don't know. Oh, Reno is back. Meg says, I know they still have Pib in the freestyle machines. Do they have regular Pib or is it the Pib Extra? And here's the thing. Those freestyle machines are cool, but nothing tastes quite right, in my opinion, out of them.
No, I agree.
Like everything's a little
different.
Got a little funk to it or something.
Because it all comes out of the same.
I'm not saying I
nozzle.
drink a Pepsi over a freestyle Coke, but I'm saying I might.
Yeah.
So neighbors are doing the horizontal mambo. I don't think so.
It sounds more vertical.
It sounds more vertical. It's I think it's a child that's jumping, or I don't know what it is. Bogarts and trolls and gremlins and such things.
So we went to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie last weekend.
We did. Going back to the nerd topic.
Well, there were no comments, so now there's comments. You can go back.
They all taste better in a glass bottle. I think you are correct with that one. I think you are correct there. I also prefer well, I don't know. You get the right like tap in it. Like McDonald's Coke tastes pretty darn good.
It's apparently something about the straws.
That's what they say. I don't know. I feel like I need to conduct an experiment. So, Meg wants to know, how was it?
It was good.
It was very good.
Go see it.
Yeah, if you
I'm actually tempted to try and convince Matt to go see it again.
I could probably be convinced because I mean, it's definitely a movie that I will purchase when it comes out.
Yep.
Now take that with a D20 grain of salt. Like, we're big D&D fans, but so I don't know if that would be. I don't know if everyone would like it as much if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons. But as a Dungeons and Dragons fan, I mean, I like some of the older movies that Dungeons and Dragons fans hate, and I'm like, at least it's a D&D movie. So this one was actually good. Like, so I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
It had a good it had good acting in it. It had a good, I feel like it had a good plot. Like, you know, I mean, I could nitpick it, I guess, but why would I do that? Like, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
I feel like it's set up to either be the end or have another one. Like, the way that it ended.
Did you just cover everything with that sentence?
Well, I did, but but that's what I'm saying is, like, if it does well and they make another one, they can make another one either within what's already happened or within the world with a new group.
Yeah.
So they did that very well. Or if they don't make any more, I'm
satisfied.
You
don't feel like you're missing out.
Right. I'm satisfied with where it ended.
Although,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. No.
I was just going to repeat myself.
Okay. Although the thing that I said to you when you asked me if I liked it, I said, yes, I very much liked it, and I want more.
Yes.
Like that was how I left the theater, saying I really like that and I want more of it. I don't always say that with movies, but this one in particular left me like there's so much more that I want to see. So, and not saying they left stuff out. I mean, you can only fit so much into a movie. Some people said that they put too much in it, but you know, I want more. I want more. Dave says a vessel on a trestle is my favorite ship on a stick reference. I mean, that's the original, I think.
Is it?
Vessel on a trestle? Isn't that? No, a ship on a stick is the original.
Yeah.
It's just become so part of my vocabulary that I forgot it was a thing. A vessel on a trestle, though, is quite creative. I agree. I like that one. It was pretty good, and they could continue the story. And Stacy is not a big D&D guy, so he enjoyed it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Validation right there. So what else you got?
I don't have any other random thing to randomly say.
No Down Under Cruisers tonight, I don't think. They had some. No, they. I think something happened in the family medically. Everybody's okay, but they needed to take care of that. So I think everybody's all right, but they're not doing a live tonight. So so you are stuck with us for now. Well, my computer just froze, or I was very still. I'm not sure which. Captain Billy. That's what they say. That's what I say when I look in a mirror.
I like that.
Nice. Kevin says there is good surfing at Trestles. Okay. I don't know what that means. You mean like around Trestles? Or is there a place called Trestles? Oh, there we go. California, Southern California. Well, that does make sense then, doesn't it? Scott says, I hear the D&D movie is very fast-paced and that Michelle Rodriguez is a funny barbarian with great stunt work.
I do have to say, barbarians are usually one of my least favorite types of characters. And I enjoyed that character.
I did too. I think what I really liked about the barbarian is that they didn't. It's still a barbarian, 100%, but she's not. They took a lot of the stereotypes and they kind of didn't go down that path, which was kind of refreshing, actually. But yeah, was it better than Wrath of the Dragon? Was that one of the D&D ish movies? I'm sure I've seen it if it was. But some of them all blend together. There was like a 2000 Dungeons and Dragons movie which I liked, although the CGI is dreadful in it, but I liked it quite a bit when it came out. This one is better than that for sure. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. It's got that.
Did we watch that?
We watched that.
We've watched all of them, haven't we?
That may be the one that we actually tried to watch and the DVD stopped working.
Oh, so I haven't seen this one.
Yes, better than that one. Easy to answer that.
Yeah, because these people don't look familiar to me.
Yeah. Yep. What do your shirts say? What does your shirt say?
Mine says, oh, yeah,
I got an old school shirt on.
We gotta move Stacy's comment so that you can see my shirt. So it says, which way? Roatan, Honduras, and actually the back of it. Can you see it? Sea turtle.
Most of it, yeah. And it says Honduras, Roatan, Honduras on there. Hello, Alfred Inglesby, and 21 days until Harmony of the Seas. Very cool. Hold me back from my Googler. I missed part of that. We need a Legend of Zelda movie. All right. I mean, I played some Ocarina of Time in my day. Yeah, but I think it was direct to DVD. Yeah, it definitely was direct to DVD. The actor Joe Manganiello is not only doing a 50th anniversary D&D documentary, he is also involved in a live-action Dragonlance project. That's cool. That's really cool. And that's the guy that he was in True Blood, right? He's very popular for his face. But he seems like a cool guy, too, if it's who I'm thinking of. Dave and Brandy loves that shirt. I think that's Brandy, because I think Dave is in here as Dave.
Yeah.
So I think that's Brandy.
That's the guy that you thought was...
I was thinking he was a Critical Role guy, but
right,
I think he's the True Blood guy. I mean, he's been in other things, too. Yeah, True Blood. There it is. Yep. Yes. I know a lot of people who drool whenever he's on screen. So, I don't know. It's just a thing. There was a Tom Hanks D&D movie called Mazes and Monsters in the 70s and 80s, and nobody was in that movie. I remember that movie. It was a D&D movie, but it wasn't like an officially sanctioned D&D movie. But I think that was more like Satanic Panic kind of a thing, wasn't it? Like it was about them playing the game.
I hope you're not asking me.
I'm asking the people, as you say.
The people.
Will you be getting the Tears of the Kingdom, Captain Billy J Travels? Is that a new Zelda game? Meg says, I only drill when I'm sleeping. Real good. Metal Gear movie. Isn't that Snake somebody? Metal Gear Solid? That Snake something Snake? Snake somebody?
I don't know Metal Gear.
I think it is. I played a little bit of the Metal Gear games, not a lot. Todd says, per the Googles, was Legend of Zelda movie in 2009. Oh, okay. So there you go. I didn't know that. First Mate Meg, I'm not a gamer anymore, so probably not. Oh. Scott says, Kevin says he is very hot. He was True Blood and Magic. Oh yeah, Magic Mike. Yeah, and is married to Sofia Vergara. Mazes and Monsters was a Satanic Panic movie. I thought so. I thought that's what that was. Yes, Solid Snake. There you go. See, I thought that. I will say I'll pass on any Pokemon movies. Didn't they make that? They made the Pikachu movie,
Detective
didn't they?
Pikachu or something. I didn't see it. Did you see it?
No. Don't hate me, Meg, but I'm not a Pokemon fan. I think I missed out on that geekdom. Well, honestly, the reason I'm probably not a Pokemon fan is because when Pokemon became really popular is when I was first starting to work with kids and they were constantly like fighting over Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it was just a source of frustration for me. But my goodness, everybody that works at the aquarium is obsessed with Pokemon. So
I work at the aquarium.
And you like Pokemon.
I mean, I know some of the old Pokemon. I like the game. I think the card game is a lot of fun.
Oh, I was going to say the video games. I know the video games were really popular.
No, I didn't. I had one of them, but I didn't play it very much. I like the card game.
Okay, I never played the card game. I just took cards away from children. That's what I did. I feel like there's more Yu-Gi-Oh and Pogs. Remember Pogs?
Pogs. I played Yu-Gi-Oh too. Yu-Gi-Oh was fine, but I liked Pokemon better.
Yeah. They should make a Miss Kimbra movie.
Oh, what would it be called? Not.
The most sexy, beautiful, amazing person in the world.
Okay.
Yes, I am a bully as a teacher, 100%. Kimbra and the Beast? What are you saying, Scott?
You are Harry.
Oh, wow. Wow. Brandy, I had a paw game. I totally forgot about that. See, Paul's like, good call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good save, right? Yeah.
You know what would be a better save? I'm hungry.
You want some blue iguana tacos?
Oh, I do, but I want something that I can actually have right now. What time does the pizza place close?
Wow. So, I know a lot of people got cruise crud from the cruise you're on. I think most people have recovered. Hopefully. I've recovered. Kimber never got sick.
I didn't get it.
My mom's recovered. I think I saw some other people say they've recovered.
Oh, Captain Billy, that's exactly what I kind of wanted.
Oh man, that does sound pretty good. That does sound pretty good. Gina has a Pog arcade game at her work. Really?
Oh.
I didn't know that existed. I thought Pogs were just weren't they like little discs? Pogs? I feel like they were little discs, yeah. Yep. Are you Googling Pogs?
Yeah.
I don't know that the kids that I had to deal with even played the game. They just had the Pogs and they just got into trouble with Pogs all the time. That was the thing I remember.
I feel like I kind of
early
remember
2000s,
them, but I also don't.
This was in the early 2000s when I was dealing with Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Pogs.
I mean, early 2000s, I was in middle school.
Yeah, these were younger than that. Oh, Billy says I'm about 94% after cruise crud. Yeah, it took me. I didn't have it for very long. I had like a weird, like scratchy. Am I getting sick? Am I not getting sick for a few days? And then all of a sudden I got sick for like about 2.5 days, and then I was fine. So mine wasn't too bad, but it was intense for like a day or two. Kevin says, thanks for the cruise crud. I am almost fully recovered. Woo, Reno got the cruise crud too.
Reno got something.
Got something.
He did
trying
an
to figure it out.
Vet visit.
Yeah. We don't know what it is exactly yet, but he's not 100%. Pogs were cardboard discs. I had a Pog maker as a kid. Oh, okay. Interesting. Meg says, I've been taking a lot of naps. I think I might be over the hump. Good. Glad to hear it. Dave said, or Brandy says, Pogs were mid to late 90s that I can remember. So that would make sense because I think Pogs were like kind of over. But when I was dealing with them, early 2000s, they were probably like the kids' siblings that had just gotten them, which is probably why they didn't really play the game. They just like collected them and fought with each other about it. So Kevin counts. Steve is hiding next to the vessel on a trestle. We didn't hide, Steve, but you are correct. The problem with hiding Steve is there's only like, I don't know, maybe 12 places to hide him.
Yeah,
so
he's been sitting in the same spot for like 3 months.
When we move, we'll have to redo the background.
Well, we'll have a better setup, hopefully, to do that.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have somewhat more. I mean, this is a permanent kind of thing, but hopefully we can set it up a little bit better so that we don't have to do the technology setup every time, and then we can get a little more fancy. We'll see. Well, we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Question. Did we have any updates from our first-time cruisers who went on the Pride? I wanted to see how everyone likes it. So when you say first-time cruisers, are you talking about like are people who have never cruised before or people who have never cruised on the Pride before? I will tell you as a blanket statement that I think everybody enjoyed it overall. I think everybody enjoyed the cruise.
I think everybody,
unless they're just not hurting my feelings. But
as far as I know, anybody that went on this cruise that has never cruised before said that they would cruise again.
Yes, and in fact, some have made plans to cruise again.
Possibly,
potential plans to cruise again. So that's good. Everybody that I know of that has cruised before, I feel like they liked the Pride. Some people liked it more than others, perhaps, but I think everybody was. I don't think anybody like hated the ship. You know, like to my knowledge. Again, unless people are just being
I don't think Billy
polite to us. Billy loves the ship. Don't tell me that. I know Billy loves the ship.
Only the
Gina,
one that's stick.
Hey Gina, you were in there earlier, but I was thinking wrong. It's a Pong table style arcade game. Oh, okay, Pong. Yes,
I like Pong.
Yes, I remember Pong. Todd grew up with Stretch Armstrong. I never had a Stretch Armstrong, but I had friends that had. Did you ever like rip him open and the weird jelly came out?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking anyone.
You said it and then looked at me.
Did you have a Stretch Armstrong? No. It was like before your time.
I know what it is though.
Okay. Yeah, people like rip because you couldn't rip it, but that's not really the reality of it. And if you did succeed in destroying your toy, which was oddly the goal for many, then this weird, like, I feel like it was like a reddish pink jelly.
You want me to Google it?
It came out. I mean, you don't have to Google everything, but if you want to. Stacy always wanted a Stretch Armstrong. Okay. People who never cruised before. Yes, I think everybody enjoyed the cruise. I think that yeah. See, look at that. That's disgusting. I know you guys can't see it, but it looks like strawberry jelly without the little seedy things in it. I would say. Kevin seems to think D not so much.
So she liked it. Her thing is she hasn't been on a vacation, like a real vacation, since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she loves her dog, which is great. So for her to go on a 7-night cruise, and she actually came into town 2 days earlier, that was a long time for her to be away. And she's not really a socially people person. So there was just a lot. So she said, I just said a whole lot. I am so sorry. Do you like that?
That's good. You really stitched that well.
She said that she would prefer to do a shorter cruise next time. But overall, she liked the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the length that she was away from her dog.
Yeah, I think that's the impression I got. I think there's things that she really, really loved about it, but I think it was maybe a little too long for her. And she was starting to get a little homesick and dog sick, maybe towards the end. That sounds like a disease, dog sick. But
Rena's dog sick.
But I know she really loved, I think she really enjoyed the people that she cruised with, which is saying a lot for your Aunt Dee, I think. And I think that, and I know that she really enjoyed like some of the excursions and stuff that we did quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that's what I know. That's what I know. And she would not say things just to be disparaging.
Oh no,
feelings.
she'll tell
She will
you.
tell you.
She'll tell you.
She will tell you exactly how she feels and will not hold back. And I think that's an asset. But because I'm not necessarily that good at that. But we are not big Carnival cruisers, and my wife said that the Pride is at the top of our small ships. So there you go. There's high praise from the Blount family. Very good. Meg says, I know James and Cindy and Amber and Scott have been putting out videos. Yes. And also Captain Billy has put out some videos. Pero DJ has not gotten to us yet. But they're getting close because they're on the Paradise videos. If anybody else is putting out videos from the group cruise, please feel free to advertise those in the Fantastic Cruising community and let people know about that, because I know that we want to know in case we've missed it. Yeah, yeah, I said that. Billy has.
Oh, did you?
And yeah, I think there's been some videos released. So Captain Billy says the Pride was all right. I need more food venues and a bigger casino. So you like the bigger ships. That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I mean, our friends JT and Jen, they don't like anything smaller than like, I think, a Vista class or something like that. Some people just don't. They just want the bigger ships, and that's okay. That's all right. Todd says, we love the Pride, small ship, but never felt crowded. That, I will say, is a big plus for that class of ship, because this was a overbooked cruise, in my opinion, because they were over their quote unquote capacity.
Right. Their capacity
with children.
Their capacity is listed at 2,100 double occupancy. They said that they were at 2,600, and 500 or 600 were kids.
There was at least 500, I think.
Yeah, which is a lot.
That's a lot.
But I never felt that way. You know what? Even the trivia, like, it was a crowded area, but it didn't, like, that was a good spot to do trivia. Because normally you're like crowded in, or you feel like you're like off to the side and not really part of it. And I feel like that wasn't really the case with this trivia area.
Yes. So. Todd did cut Stretch Armstrong open.
Oh.
Of course you did. You had to. Here's James. James is still in here. He said, we love it on the Pride, first time, but some improvement for handicap needs to be done. So that is good feedback, James, because, obviously it's hard for us to assess that. One, we don't usually have access to that. And also, even if we did, we don't necessarily understand it the way that needs to be understood. So I know there is a channel called Cruising with Wheels. And that channel is really dedicated to cruising with disabilities or cruising with wheelchair, basically. And they are 100% Norwegian, not the country, but the cruise line, for that reason. So
I know that the Pride is going into dry dock soon, and accessibility is one of the things that they will be improving during dry dock.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. It is an older ship, but still, it's not like those weren't concerns when it was made, because that ship is not that old. I mean, it was 2000s. So, but things should, and hopefully we continue to improve on those sorts of things and accommodate people in the way we should. Todd says it was fun because it oozed out. Okay. Ed and Anita, we love the Pride, easy to navigate, and like Todd said, never felt crowded. Yeah, I mean, come on, that was really cool. I was on the Breeze. I've talked about this before. Spring break, the Breeze felt like I was at an overcrowded theme park the entire cruise, and I liked the ship. The cruise was great because it was the Cruise Geek Group cruise, the one and only. But there was a lot of negativity on that cruise from the crowd, not the crowd I was with, but the crowd in general. Captain Billy J. Travels. Kimbra, do you go down the water slides? I didn't. Does anybody else use them? I don't know why I read that way.
You also said the wrong words.
Did I?
That says, did you?
Did you go down the water
And
slides?
Did anyone else?
Didn't. Did anyone else use them?
I went down one of the water slides.
1 out of 2?
I attempted the second one, and then I chickened out.
I went down both water slides, as did your Aunt D, and I thought they were fun. I liked them quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fast one.
The one that I didn't do.
The other one was like, I'm never going to make it to the end of this water slide.
Yeah.
But the other one was like...
I like water slides on tubes. Those are my favorite kind of water slides.
I agree with that.
They're much more fun for many reasons.
Meg, I had a really cool Ghostbusters tower I played with my Ninja Turtles on. I love that. I love everything about that. Do kids still play like that? Like, we had all the action figures, and like I mean the movies that we created with our action figures. Like, I don't know if I was weird in that way or if other kids did that in my generation, but like me and my friends, like, we had epic things that happened with our action figures. It was amazing. Probably really wasn't, but that's how it felt when we were children.
So Meg, I have to ask you, have you seen the trailer for the new Ninja Turtles movie? And what do you think? I agree with that, Reno.
The art is unique and creative, but I don't like it. I'm not a Ninja Turtle fan.
I'm not either. But I really didn't like.
Comment.
I'm not real excited for.
I don't dislike the Ninja Turtles, but I was never like into the Ninja Turtles, which is interesting because they're all named after artists and they're turtles. You'd think I'd like them, but I never got into them. Dave and Brandy, Brandy, I should say. I grew up on Care Bears, My Little Pony, etc. 80s kid. Yep.
I watched Care Bears.
Smurfs.
Mm-hmm.
My mom says, yes, I agree. It was easy to get around. Yeah, very easy to navigate ship.
And she found her way to the Alchemy Bar all by herself.
Over and over again. It was crazy. They had to cut her off. Scott says, I loved everyone we cruised on the Pride with. Great group of people, except for those. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't say that. No, it was a really great group of people. It really was. I mean, I didn't expect it not to be, but it definitely lived up to and exceeded my expectations. It was really a lot of fun. My only regret is that
there were people
I needed more time. Like, I didn't.
I was thinking there's people that didn't book that I wish would have.
Yes, there definitely are people that obviously couldn't go on this cruise. And I would have loved to have, but I didn't have time to spend with the people that were on the cruise. Yeah. So, that's why we have more cruises booked, Kimbra. So, Meg put out videos. Yes, Meg, of course. Yes, please, 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 please. Please feel free to post your videos in Fantastic Cruising Community so people can see them. And I know there's a lot of people in there that would probably be interested in watching those videos, including us, if we don't realize they come out, because YouTube's a fast moving machine and sometimes videos come out and I don't see them until like way later and I'm like, how did I miss this? Stacy, I grew up on Hot Wheels G.I. Joe, $6 Million Man, and Evel Knievel. Oh yeah, baby. I had the Bionic Woman doll too. And yeah, all that stuff. Evil Knievel. I was a big Evil Knievel fan as a child, which is kind of weird for me. It's not really in my genre, but I think the motorcycle. I've always been a motorcycle guy. So I don't know. Todd says, need to post pictures up to Kimbra's Google Drive. Oh, yeah. Kimbra, talk about that, because that's something you did that's kind of interesting and cool. And
yeah. So in the Group Cruise group page on Facebook, I posted a Google Drive. So any of you that took photos or video or whatever you did on this cruise, please post those things in that Google Drive.
If you want to share them.
Well, yeah. I mean, we would love for you to share.
You don't have to post it.
But I would love to have a place where everybody can see what everybody else enjoyed during their cruise.
Yeah, and that's the
nobody's posted anything.
And it's a lot to do that. It's a lot of steps, but it is a cool place to be able to share that and not, just to share it, like she said, so people can enjoy it.
It says it's empty.
Like your belly.
Yes.
Dream class and bigger class ships for me. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I like the smaller ships, but you know what? Like, my main reason for saying I like smaller ships is that it's closer to the water. But then when I think about like being on that lower deck on like a Mardi Gras or a Vista class, I don't know if I can really justify that anymore. I don't know. And Dave and Brandy, I'm just gonna do that every time. Us and the Pride, just the perfect size for us. Yes, I mean the Pride. Honestly, like that, the Spirit class ship, I think it's something special about that class for this, especially for the smaller ships. It's just something about it. My mom says, Stacy, you must be Matt's age. Yes. Stacy is maybe a wee bit younger than me, but close enough. Scott says, cruise director Joey was entertaining and personally helped us disembark early. Oh, that's cool. I liked Joey.
I really liked Joey.
He seemed like a good sort of fellow. Yeah.
He's one that I'll probably remember.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same toys. Yes, Mom. We did play with some of the same, but I played with toys for a lot longer than some kids did. So, there you go. Wait, Stacy says, he's 1 year older than me? No, you're younger than me. Aren't you younger than me? I thought he was younger than me. But we're close. We're within that range where it doesn't really matter at that point. I think at our age, we're close enough. The flow of the Spirit class is the best. Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely. I mean, that's why it didn't feel crowded. Thank you, Joey. Cheerios and Lucky Charms. Yes, every time Joey would sign off with his announcements, he would say Cheerio and Frosted Flakes. He'd say a different cereal, which I thought was creative and fun, and I appreciate that sort of humor. Captain Billy J Travels. I liked the Pizza Cafe area. Piazza Cafe. I'm just thinking about pizza now. It's your fault. The Piazza Cafe area, kind of like a mini Ocean Plaza area. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Is that where we did the trivia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was nice. It was nice. Scott says, we will let you know how the Pride is again in July. I would be curious to see, because you're going to be in Europe on the Pride then, if it's got a different feel to it, being over in the motherland. Is that what they call Europe, the motherland, or is that just some weird reference from a movie I've forgotten about? Gina says, me too, Brandy, best decade for toys ever. I must have missed Brandy's comment on which decade that was.
80s.
80s, okay. Yeah. Captain Billy likes the water slides with the tubes as well. Yes. Todd says, thanks, Matt. We had action figures. Patty says, I played with dolls. Look, I played with dolls and action figures, and I don't care. You call them whatever you want. I play with them. I had all the superhero dolls. I had the Wonder Woman
Did you
doll.
have the Barbies?
I did not have any Barbies. But my cousin Randy had Donnie and Marie with the whole playset. So, and we had the Star Wars figures, and then the G.I. Joe, and I had Indiana Jones, a Raiders of the Lost Ark. I had the Black Hole. I was all about action figures. I was an only child. I spent a lot of time playing by myself with action figures too. So that may be more telling than I should be. But Kevin says, I have never water slidden, but you get points for saying it that way, on a cruise ship. As a kid, we would go to the Wild Wild Wet next to Disneyland. I have also been to Waterloo, like where Napoleon was, or that must be a water park. Okay. My mom says you had great imaginations. Yes. And I think I credit some of that to those action figure days. I mean, I had friends though, and their idea of playing with action figures was like destroying them. Like they didn't have plots. You know, there was no character development. They were just like breaking my toys, and that was not me. I was very, very careful with my toys, and there were plots and character development. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Captain says I played with myself, with my action figures. Only child, introvert. I mean, I was an only. I mean, I still am an only child, I guess. I'm sort of an introvert in some ways. That may seem weird.
And I played by myself with my toys.
And you were for the most part an only child.
An only child.
I mean, technically you're not, but you.
She lived with her mom.
Yeah, so you might, for all intents purposes. Is that? I don't know what that saying is, but anyway, yeah. Meg says haven't really followed the Ninja Turtles since the 90s. Yeah, I worked at a Toys R Us in the early 90s, and man, that was like people fought for those things. It was terrifying. Scott, I used to watch the Saturday morning Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. I did as well. And there is a cameo.
Can you still see that somewhere?
There is a cameo of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. It wasn't that good, honestly. Okay. Of those characters in the new Dungeons and Dragons movie. So if and when you see it, look for those. And I picked them out. And then afterwards, I was like, I think there was a cameo from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And sure enough, there was. I lived in Waterloo, Iowa. Ah, right on. Okay. All right. Scott put out a video too. Wait, Professor Travel?
No. Scott Amber.
Oh, Scott. Oh, Scott. Okay. I have not seen that one. So that I need to go watch that one. I don't think I've seen that one. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yes. Forgot about the drive. No worries. It's just there for fun. Cindy has picture done tomorrow. She will share. Oh, cool. Okay.
Awesome.
Good deal. Joey kept calling me Captain Willie. And don't pretend you didn't like it. Captain Willie. Or is it Captain's Willie? Oh. Cheerio and Captain Crunch. Dave and I are only children also. Oh, okay. Is that like a cruising thing? Are we all only children? Are those the people that like to cruise? Surely not.
Only children like to cruise.
Surely not. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Yep. Or a Toys R Us employee, as the case may be. But I was a Toys R Us kid as well. Well, I was a Toy Chest kid, but then a Toys R Us. Children's Palace, that was a thing. I was a kid. We don't, that's like tragic. Toy stores don't exist anymore for the most part. And that was like a highlight of my childhood, is going to the toy store.
I liked going to the toy store too.
That's horrible. I feel for the youth of today. Where Waterloo is actually Raging Rivers, which was located on Frank G. Bonelli Regional Park, locally known as Pudding Stone, near San Dimas. In Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, they called it Waterloo. Oh, okay. I haven't seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure for a few decades, so that is interesting. Good to know. Waterloo in IA. What is IA?
Iowa.
Iowa. I thought it was Indiana for a second.
No,
That's
it's
IN. I know. Is where our granddaughter lives. We're going to visit there next weekend. Oh, cool. Meg was a middle child.
That explains a lot.
Does it?
No, I just wanted to say something.
Oh, okay. On Sunday, there was boat racing in Puddingstone. Sunday. Boat racing on the pudding. Gina, I have 4 siblings, but they were all out of the house when I was born, so I grew up as an only child. That counts. I think that counts. Scott, there is an amazing Brazilian car commercial which features the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon characters, and it is fantastic. You must see it. I will Google it on the YouTubes. Google owns YouTube, so that makes sense, right? Captain Billy, Stacy, awesome. I was born in Cedar Falls, Iowa, right next to Waterloo. Lived there until 7 years ago when I moved to Pensacola, Florida. Oh, cool. Look at that. There's a Larry in the house.
Hi, Larry.
Hello, Larry. Bon Beanie, my friend. Watching on Roku, Ananda sleeping beside me. Oh, hello, Ananda. I come from a family of 8. Wow. I am the baby, grew up with the same toys as Matt and Stacy. I am 52.5. Does that mean you're improved over 52? 52.5. I'm in the beta test of that. So yes, you're in our demographic, my friend. Meg is laughing with you or at you. I'm not sure which. Brandy says, same with music stores. Yes, I miss the days of the wall and their lifetime guarantee sticker on their CD/cassettes. I guess that sticker is no good now, huh? I'm not familiar with the wall. Do you know of the wall?
I don't know the wall.
I know Pink Floyd had the album called The Wall, or movie, or album, or both. So, a song? I don't know. It's a Pink Floyd thing. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I will say is that I would have had a much broader music interest if I had access to all the music I have access to today, because it was kind of like, for me, listening to like punk rock music, you'd go to like the weird record store in the like cool punk rock areas, and then you'd look through like the same albums week after week, and then, you know, when I had enough money that I could afford one, I just guess and buy one. That was the only way I could discover new music, unless some band came into town and I watched them and I was like, oh, they were cool. Or if like a friend of mine had made the choice to buy that album. So yeah. Cruising Scene. Hi, all. Been listening. You're still awake? What are you doing awake? Isn't it like 9:46 where you're at? What?
What?
I don't know. Oh, no. You know what? I'm mistaken.
Cruising Scene. That's
Scene.
Sharon.
I'm mistaking them for JT, which is not who they are. Excuse me. I was. What is his thing? It's cruising. Cruise talk.
I think you've had too much to drink.
I've had a shot or two. But Bon Beanie, thank you for listening. How are you guys doing? Megs and Cheese. I miss bookstores. Oh, bookstores. The smell of books. There still are bookstores, but it's just not the same.
No.
It's not the same.
I remember going into Books A Million, and the back wall is like where all the magazines and stuff were, but they had a bunch of benches, so you could go grab a book and like sit down on the benches and read them.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that.
Yes, Cruising Scene.
I never did it.
Just to clarify, my friend JT is like in bed by 7, and so I can never remember the name of his thing, and I saw yours and I went, that's, I don't know why. If it's got the word cruise in it, apparently my brain stops functioning and differentiating. I don't know what's wrong with me. Bon Beanie. Hello. Yes. Hello, Sharon. Which you guys live kind of close to us, right? So I know you were going to come over when we did the meetup, but if you guys want to come over.
Different people.
No?
That was John and Nancy.
You're right. That was John and Nancy.
And they were just on vacation in Orlando.
Just ignore me. I don't even know who I am. So just disregard that. But cruising scene, I don't know where you live then. But I do know who you are. I do know who you are. Don't mistake my stupidity and brain hemorrhaging for me not knowing who you are. Okay, let's see. Get back to Sam Goodies. Yes, Sam Goodies did not have all of my music, but I remember Sam Goodies. They had some good stuff. Music Land. We didn't have a Music Land.
Okay.
Reno apparently needs to go out.
And I need food.
And she needs food. Kevin Counts says Licorice Pizza Records. So I know of Licorice Pizza Records from NoFX songs, and I know there was a movie that came out recently called Licorice Pizza, which I think is a kind of revolves around that. I worked at a Walden Books, Captain Billy. I worked at Borders when I moved to Florida. The person I moved with also worked at Borders, so she ended up working at the Borders. That was how I was going to move to Florida, and I went over to the mall and got a job at Walden Books. And then the Nature Company. Anybody remember the Nature Company? I was an assistant manager at the Nature Company before moving to St. Petersburg. Todd, I grew up in Los Angeles. We had a Licorice Pizza and Tower Records. So Licorice Pizza's a chain? You're ruining all my thoughts of that. Tower Records I'm familiar with them. We didn't have one in St. Louis, though, but Larry will be 53 August 31st. Well, don't rush to that too soon. Cruising Scene says, I put up a short of Matt doing the Tim Tam. I saw that. I did see that. That was hilarious. Kicking the Country. Hey, what's up, y'all? Good to see you here. We were talking about you guys a little bit earlier. Nothing bad. Just talking about whether you enjoyed the cruise. We think you did. Todd says we also had Bleecker Bob's, which is where all the punks launched their 45s. Okay. Rodney Bingheimer used to hang out there late Saturday nights. Okay, cool. We had a place called Vintage Vinyl, and we had West End Wax and Euclid Records. They were just indie shops here, aren't there? Yeah, here in St. Louis. And they were like hangouts on the weekends. Like all the punk kids would just like walk the streets and from record store to record store and get yelled at by cops for loitering. It was good times. 18 days older than Pops. All right. Well, blah, 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 blah. We have a Books A Million here in Pensacola magazine still on the back wall with benches. We have a Books A Million here as well. There are more toys and games these days, which is still kind of fun to go to. Kimber and I do go to Books A Million from time to time and hang out. We don't hang out. We just shop for a little bit and then we leave. But sometimes we buy things. It's cool. Texas, that's right. You guys are in Texas. What part of Texas are you in, by the way? Whereabouts? Because Texas is a big place. It's almost like bigger than multiple states. Well, it's not almost. It is bigger than multiple states. I lived in Texas for a month. Fun fact. Houston. I really liked it when I was there. Yes, JT is Cruise Talk. I know that, but I don't know that when I need to know that because my brain doesn't work anymore. It's filled with scientific names of snakes, and so it doesn't know anything else anymore. Larry says, hi, Reno. Yes, Reno went to the vet today. He has got some issues that we are working through. Hopefully they're not too serious. We'll keep you informed on that. Scott says, we have a cruise coming up at the end of next month from Long Beach to Alaska on the Carnival Pride. Yes, going back on the Pride. Oh, sorry. Carnival Mardi. Yeah, Miracle. Yeah, you guys are on the Pride in Europe. That's right. Miracle is a cool ship. I love the Miracle, says Meg. I believe Kimbra also enjoyed the Miracle. I got to tour the Miracle, and I loved it. Licorice Pizza was a chain. That kind of is disappointing to me. But that's all right. Licorice Pizza and bought my all-time favorite record. Yeah. Fat Mike talking about the Descendants. Anyway. Larry, did they stars on 45, Todd? I don't know what that means. Play. Did they play on 45? Oh, okay. Probably did. Scott, I used to work at a music store called The Warehouse. Okay. All right. King and Country, did we enjoy the cruise? No, we did not. We freaking loved it. That makes my heart happy that you guys enjoyed it. I am very glad to hear that. Kevin Counts, I don't remember Middle Records Music Mart was also a one-off record store near me. Near Fort Worth, Burleson. Okay. All right. Cool beans. All right. Scott says, and there is nothing better than working in a mall location on Christmas. Save me. Yeah. I did retail. I did the holiday retail thing. I even did the working the Christmas holiday help thing when I had moved away from normal retail. Not a great time, I will say. All right, let's see. Talking about the Warehouse and the Raspberry Roach. Kicking the Country, did everyone get over the cruise crud? I think most of us are mostly over the cruise crud. I don't think everyone is completely over the cruise crud. I am. Kimber never got it. My mom is. Meg is still dealing with it a little bit, I think. But I think Scott is mostly over it. Now Kevin might have it. I don't know. It was a bad cruise, but it was worth it. I think it was worth it. I don't know. Okay, since we are throwing it back, how about Blockbuster? Oh yeah.
I went to Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. Yep.
And then Family Video, and then Hollywood Video.
Oh yeah. I almost worked. I got hired at a Blockbuster and a Hollywood Video and never actually worked at either one of them. But I was hired by both of them. But then I think in both cases, they were both in Florida. And then I ended up getting jobs other places before I said yes to them. I think that's what happened, if I recall. Are you ready for another? Is Scott ready for another cruise? Of course he's ready for another cruise. All right. People saying hello to one another. So how about cruising? I forget this is a cruise podcast. Yes, I'm sorry. We get sidetracked. Look, when we don't have an itinerary,
we just talk.
And then this happens. And then the nerd and the punky and the just whatever food, whatever comes out. Shouldn't say food comes out. That sounds gross.
I'm really hungry.
I think Kimber's telling me we need to get off of here though, because she's saying she's hungry. When I was younger, we had a Sound Shop music store in the mall. Don't know that one. All right, let's see what we got here. We are about at the end here. Oh, Captain Billy, I participated in my local Blockbuster Video Game Championship. I didn't win, but you participated.
That's cool. Did you get a trophy for participation?
I mean, if it was the right decade, you probably did.
I know. That's why I said it.
All right. I better sign out here before Kimber starts eyeing me up like an old Bugs Bunny commercial cartoon. And I can't say words, so that's another sign that it's time to go. Again, no Down Under Cruisers tonight, but probably somebody's on there live. I don't know. It's Friday night, right? Kimbra, Kimbra some food before, gets Kimber some food before she gets hangry.
Well,
yeah,
I wouldn't care so much, but it's giving me a headache.
A Blockbuster on a stick would be awkward. Yeah, I agree.
I could print a Blockbuster on a stick.
What would that even look like?
I don't know, but that's what Tinkercad is for.
Okay, well, all right, everybody. Well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We enjoyed it. It's nice to not be sick this weekend. So we'll see you guys later. And I don't have anything else to say.
I don't either.
All
Bye.
right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.